The Four Quarters team has been making the rounds as of late in the gaming news, and for good reason. They are coming out with a brand new game called Loop Hero, and I am so excited for it. Obviously, because Four Quarters team is originally a browser web-based game creating. Whatever the case, I'm super excited because I always love it when a small team gets the big recognition that they need. And Four Quarters team games are super good. They're really detailed, they're really weird concepts, but they're executed so well, and I'm just happy that they're getting their recognition. However, we're not going to be covering that game. For starters, it's not even out yet. I thought we would take a look at the progenitor of that game, Loop Hero. This was created for a game jam of some kind. They always are, after all. And it is an idle-based RPG with tile-laying mechanics. Now, I despise idle games. Always have, I think I always will. But from the very few idle games that I have shown on this channel, you know that when I like an idle game, it's goddamn brilliant. And Loop Hero is... oh, I can see why they decided to make a fully fledged game out of this one. So, how do you play this game? Well, obviously, like I said, it is an idle game, so really you kind of just have to wait for a moment before everything, starts kicking off. But, right there, you just saw the main game mechanic. Your hero continually walks down a path in a loop, you would say. Aha. Theming. And as you do that, you will run into monsters. Those monsters, once defeated, will possibly drop loot or tiles. What your job is to use those said loot and tile drops in order to make your hero better. And also the loop a bit more better, so that you can both get more experience and get more better items. Now, this comes in two parts. Right now, we are in the traveling sector of this game. If we press spacebar, we can pause the game and then use our pickups and drops to equip and place tiles. Right now, we have some pretty low-key stuff, but it's kind of all we have. So, sword and shield getting dropped. We would like to place one of these tiles. To do that, and also, equip yourself, all you need is the mouse and the left click. And of course, spacebar, but you don't really need to use the spacebar. You can just click the little travel, equip, little tab thing on the top of your screen. Speaking of the top of your screen, we have a couple little informational things that you will have to pay attention to. On your left, we have the day cycle. Every time this thing fills up and resets, you're going to hear a rooster crow, for example. Right there. And as you just saw, a lot of monsters just spawn. Mostly slime, but we can fix that. Every time a new day happens, there is a chance for monsters to spawn, especially depending on what kind of tiles you have placed. The other thing that you will have to keep in mind is the bar on the right. That is your progress to the end of the game. I have never gotten to said end of game because this game is quite difficult. I'm very happy when I play this game. Also, final little bit of information, as you go through camp, your cozy little camp, we'll pause that again, the enemy level will rise. So every time you complete a loop, enemies get tougher. Now, the thing you probably also noticed is that when I, or at least, you can't see the mouse cursor, because I make it so you can't. But when you hover over certain tiles, you get information. For starters, this is all the plain, slime tile stuff. So if we hover over a wasteland tile, there's nothing here except for slimes. Every day, there's a 5% chance that a slime will spawn. We got really lucky that a bunch of slimes spawned on our pathway, but, if we survive the loop, we'll get a lot of stuff. Cozy Camp right here, this is basically your health place. Once you get here, everything loops, everything resets, but you also heal. However, there are some certain tiles that can aid you along the way with healing also. If you are not hovering over a tile, you can see at the bottom of your screen your stats because of our equipped items. We can also hover over the said items to see what their stats are. So, just keep it moving, and right now we have 6 to 10 damage and 3 defense. Pretty good to start with, but we're going to need to be getting that a lot higher if we want to succeed in killing the lich that has cursed us to walk endlessly in a circle. Yeah, there's a story behind this game. It's kind of mean, and I really like it. But anyway, now that we have gotten enough tiles, or at least a few tiles, from drops, we can talk about the tile laying system. So this loop that we are circling around essentially is a customizable dungeon. What I mean by that is, each time you get a tile that you can place, you use your left click and you pick up a said tile, and a spot on the map will say, hey, this is where you can place your said tiles. This, if we, let go of it and take a look at it, is a spider cocoon. Every day spawns a spider to the nearest tile. So every time the sun does the whole loop thing and the rooster does his little caw, a spider will spawn in adjacent squares. To maximize those said spiders, we can put this here, because adjacent tiles are, 1, 2, 3. If we had moved this to a side tile that had no other thing, only a spot here, only one spot would have the spiders spawning. Depending on how you go throughout the game, you might want to place certain tiles in certain positions in order to make sure your hero doesn't die, because this is also a roguelike, because, it wasn't cruel enough. Also, we've now got equipped here a lighthouse, which is actually a pretty good thing. Let's put it right here. Everywhere the light touches makes everything move a bit faster, which is good if you want to, make good time for the days and whatnot. I'm actually going to place a couple lighthouses because I quite like them. We also have this vampire mansion. We're not placing that one yet because we are not strong enough to fight vampires. And then we have this rock. It's kind of the most important tile there is, or at least that and the mountains, because depending on where you place it and what kind of formations you create, it gives you health. So, yeah, no, it's really important to make your mountain rock ranges kind of big and, important. It's really cool. I really like the synergy behind all the tiles that get placed around. Now, as of right now, it doesn't look like much, I will admit. But if we keep going, and, keep fighting monsters, keep playing the game, the board in itself is going to look a lot more different. It'll look kind of, wait for it, like this. Now, the map has a little bit of personality. Also, I may have died while getting to that editing point. Like I said, it's a hard game. So, since I have been looping around everything, a lot more has been placed around the board. We have little towns that give out quests. We've now got a goblin camp that just spawns out of nowhere, because of course it does. More lighthouses, the mountain range, and even this weird forest with lots of spiders and wolves. See, now this map has a little bit of personality. You can kind of make up its own little story behind it. Right here, where I camped, there's now a big old cemetery that has vampires just popping out from it. Some more cemeteries right there and right there. Sandwiched in between is a little village. They have a big skeleton problem, you know. And then there's this village up here right next to the battlefield. What happened there? Well, it probably has something to do with the goblin camp. You never know. Or maybe it has something to do with keeping back the hordes of spiders and wolves from the giant creepy forest. Who knows? But now there's kind of a story behind your loop, and it's really, really interesting. I really, really like this game. Also, I have not looked at some of my things in a small minute here. Let's, oh good, another lighthouse. Let's not get into that just now. 24 damage. See, now that we've gotten a little bit more equipment as well, our stats have changed quite a bit. We now have a lot more HP, not just because of the mountain range that we've been building upon, but also our armor. We've got better attack. We've got a plus bonus to attack. That ring right there, 35 plus damage, is really helping out. We've got attack speed, kind of, you know, as you've seen, the monsters attack, I attack. It's kind of how the battle mechanic works. You got the little blue bar underneath our health bars. Kind of a little Final Fantasy-esque. It's really turned into something, and now we just picked up a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's add some more mountains to our mountain range. We have another battlefield. Battlefields are good because you can get loot from that. We want to maximize efficiency on that, so I'm actually going to place you... I'm going to place you there. Now, loot can drop there. Do we want another village? Right now, we don't really need another village. Although I will take another little spider den right here. There's a now new spider den near the mountains. Do we want another lighthouse? I really don't want another lighthouse around because that will really screw up the forest here. Don't want spiders to attack faster. No siree. But yeah, getting back on topic and whatnot, this is an awesome game, and I am super excited to be playing its full version later on this year. Obviously, there are going to be mechanical changes and whatnot, but if this game tickles your fancy and you want to go check it out, the link is in the description down below. And if you really, really like the game, go check it out when it comes out on sale. I definitely will be, and I'm also going to probably die in this next loop because there's a lot of shit that spawns. Oh dear lord. Let's actually hopefully fix that by getting some really nice stuff here. Ooh, regen 30 per 5 seconds. Oh, that sounds really, really good. Add some more mountains to the range. Add another bit of spiderdom. And yeah, sure, we'll just put this right there, right next to the mountains. Because thematic.